fifth grade, lesson 4.4. Today we're going to work on a few things, including interpreting remainders. So we've been working on story problems, we've been working on decimals, and practicing those for a couple of days. We will continue with that tomorrow. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk mainly about interpreting remainders. That is the main, kind of meat of our lesson today. So when you're interpreting remainders, remember we talked about this, we've honestly talked about it all year. There are three main things that you can do with this. When you divide, you can ignore it. Ignore the remainder. Sometimes that's good to do. So sometimes when you're talking about money, I would ignore the remainder and put the rest of my savings. Okay. Sometimes you report it as a fraction. So anything that can be cut in pieces, you cut it in pieces. Food, put it as a fraction. Liquids, put it as a fraction. Then finally, the last thing that you can do is you can round up. So this means like if I need to have a bookshelf, and in order to cover and hold all of my books, that's something I would round up for. If we're all going on a trip, I need every student to go, I would round up to make sure they all could go. We're all trying to sit at tables. I need everyone at a table, I would round up. So there are things that you can think about that for each of these options, right? So we're going to go through this assignment today, and we're going to do a lot of it together. We're going to do some of the division, and then your job is going to be to kind of come up with what to do with the remainder and tell me why. So Bree earned 189 tickets playing different games at the fair. If each prize costs 15 tickets, how many prizes can Bree get? So each prize costs 15. How many tickets can she get? Well, first of all, you're interpreting remainders, so you're going to divide. What am I dividing? Am I dividing the 189 tickets that she earned, or am I dividing the 15 tickets apiece? You're going to divide 189 divided by 15 equals P for prizes. Remember, your number model has a letter for the ending. I want you now to do the division. 189 divided by 15. You can do the division whichever way is easiest for you. Finish the division, find your quotient and your remainder, and I will see you shortly. All right, let's do the math. 15 goes into 18 one time. 3 left over. 15 goes into 39 two times, with 9 left over. So your answer would be 12, remainder 9. Now, let's think about this. How many prizes can Bree get? How many prizes? Can she get 12 prizes or 13 prizes? She only can get 12 prizes. For this one, we're going to ignore the fraction. I'm sorry, I don't know of any place that you can go get prizes. I can't go to Chuck E. Cheese and say, hey, give me 9/15 of that prize over there. No. Nowhere you go can you get 9/15. Most places that you go to, if you say, hey, can I just get 13 prizes? They're probably going to say no, because you don't have enough. So the best thing you're going to do is ignore it. Why? You can't get a fraction of a prize, and you don't have enough for 13. You can't get a fraction and you don't have enough to get 13. Try number 2. What is my number model? This one gives you a little bit of a hint. It tells you that 1 foot equals 12 inches, which we learned in our lesson on Tuesday, so you should know that already. All right, so 58 inches tall. I need to figure out how many feet, so I'm going to divide by 12. 58 inches is how tall she is. Divided by 12 will equal how many feet total she is for her height. All right. 58 divided by 12. Do the math. What is your quotient and what is your remainder? All right. 12 goes into 58 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48 with 10 left over. So my quotient is 4. My remainder is 10. Think about this. Can you be a fraction of a foot tall? Can you be a fraction of a foot tall? What do you think? Find out how tall you think Elizabeth is. Is she 4 feet? Is she 5 feet? Did I round it up? Or is she a fraction? For this one, you can be a fraction of a foot tall. Now, normally we would say 4 foot 10 inches. But in this case, it's going to be 4 and 10 over 12. You make it into a fraction. Remember, my remainder goes on top, and my what I divided by goes onto my denominator. All right, I reported it as a fraction. Why? Because you can be a fraction of a foot. It is more accurate. All right, the reason why I added the part about it being accurate is because if you've ever been to an amusement park, you have to be so tall in order to ride a ride, right? So if I say that she's 5 foot tall and she's really not 5 foot tall, it could be a matter of her safety. She could fall out of the ride. Same thing if it says you have to be under 4 foot. And I said, well, she is 4 foot. She's really not. So again, that could be safety. Okay. So to make it more accurate, absolutely, that's part of it. Another time where this might be useful is sometimes if you're trying to find somebody and you say, oh, she's about 5'11". Great. Now, if somebody like me, I'm 5'1". If you say I'm 5 foot, they're going to still think it's me. But if you say, oh, she's 6 foot tall, they're not going to have any idea that it was talking about me. Does that make sense? So when you're measuring something, how high it is, how much it weighs, what the volume is, it can be fractions. That's a big hint to help you. All right. Your last question of today. Today's lesson was really quick. It's only like about 10, not even 10 minutes long. Your last question is let's see. I want you to list 3 different ways. Look at your book. That you can report a fraction. What are the 3, or I'm sorry, that you can report a remainder. What are the 3 different ways that you can report a remainder? Have a great day, guys.